This time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome into the Sports Drive right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. I am Chad Brilliante. Glad to be with you here as always. And, man, I'm glad it's Friday. I'm not going to lie. I always give you those cliche like, I do love y'all. But it's been one of those kind of weeks where, I guess the coldies are running out, the throw lozengers. And it's going to be fun this weekend, though. We've got UWF football. They're going for another historic run as they've not been to one, not two, but actually now won 6 straight road games in college football in the playoffs. And, we always root for our local teams, but once in a while there's a historic kind of season, like the New England Patriots have had many of times. And we love that because as fans, we like sports. We like to root for our home team, but we really like winners. I mean, I'd say, look, Charlie Sheen might have made some choices in his life that we don't always tell our kids about, but and Juan, don't worry about that. But sometimes when you say the word winning is something that it breeds success in everything. And I think one thing we know is we all like to have winners. And joining us in studio on that note, having some fun as he joins us from probably the best food I've ever tasted. I'm not going to lie. This is incredible. They did a party for us. And if you've never been down to Mr. Pollo, down there right next to Subway and some of the places on that 4-way stop, a lot of the traffic there. So you might have had to deal with that traffic stop, and you got to get some good food right there. And joining us is Eduardo and Juan, his son, a huge Patriot fan. And he brought some food that Jeff Price is kind enough right now to be Vanna Whiting for us and displaying here. But guys, we appreciate you coming down here. And first off, thank you, and go Patriots.
Go Patriots, that's it.
Go Patriots.
Thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you, for letting us be part of the community. And so, like I said, we're happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
No, I know, and you guys did one of our parties for Cat Country News Radio and ESPN before, and it was so good. And once you have it once, it's hooked. And we're actually, since we've got the TV and radio, everything going on, we want to try to find a way to get like a tailgate zone back here. Sports and tailgating goes together. Perfect match. And a lot of Christmas parties going on. But, guys, if you haven't been out there, this food is amazing. And it's going to be hard enough to talk right now. I might just give you, can you guys break down a whole entire book for me so I can eat? But, Juan, I want to talk a little bit about, you're a Patriot fan, but you're also one heck of a football player yourself. I know you've been breaking records. And, look, Joe Burrow's had a good season. But the stats you were talking about, I mean – look, are you thinking one day Heisman Trophy, Super Bowls, Tom Brady? Yeah. You're already at Tom Brady's level? Do you feel like, you're already there? What's your favorite position to play?
Wide receiver and probably quarterback.
Yeah, and you're really good at all of them, aren't you?
Yes.
I think I can see you throwing the football like 20 yards up in the air and running and catching it yourself, like for the touchdown. That's really cool. Like, you don't even have to, it's been one of those. And look, you got that shot right here. You're sitting right behind Wile E. Coyote there. He's the San Antonio mascot. But as a Patriot fan, you already walked into the studio telling us today that you are a winner. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. What's your favorite part about watching the Patriots besides last week's game?
The part that I liked that, like how Tom Brady threw the ball. He has perfect aim from the ball, and he could find his best friend Julian Edelman. But I wish Danny Amendola was back on the Patriots.
I wish so too. I wish him and Chris Hogan and Rob Gronkowski and all I wish we had Troy Brown and David Givens. I wish we went back and Ben Winter Coates. I wish we could go way back because right now, no, the guys, it doesn't feel like the Patriot way. And I'm not talking about the deflated footballs. We don't need to talk about any of that, guys. We won't talk about that. But we're just talking about the team just doesn't look the same. And they're still 10-2.
I'm sure Tom Brady on Sunday was thinking about all of them being there together once again, and he needed them.
Well, Eduardo, you said that you guys actually to take Juan to a game.
We did. We actually went to the Browns
The
and
Gillette Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
In Foxborough.
Hopefully, it wasn't a close shave.
Massachusetts.
That's right.
And I
Again.
actually saw Tom Brady and Julian Edelman, and I saw Odell Beckham.
Really?
Yes.
You got to see. I hope. The game against the. So you went. Was it this year? You said
The Browns.
against the Browns.
Browns.
Okay.
Browns.
Yeah. Odell wasn't making those one-handed catches. The only people that were making those catches were the Pats because that was a fun defensive performance they put on right there. I remember watching that. Jeff and I we had a chance to do with Justin. We do an NFL tailgate party, and I got home just in time to watch that just incredible game, unless you're a Browns fan. But it's been a fun time. But from a sports standpoint, did you always grow up as, I always say at an early age because I think one of the biggest things is pressure on kids, whether it's school today, whether it's to be what people tell you to dress like, things like that. And we all want to present yourself. You could tell, you look up your father, your mother. You could just tell by the path of starting your own company and being hard workers and dedicated to that, you've been raised the right way. I don't know you guys outside of a few times meeting you, but I can tell that from people, the way they handle themselves. One thing is, though, for you, having a chance to get to play all sports at an early age is something that even Coach Gene Stallings, a legendary coach for Alabama, told me the other day. He wishes more people got to enjoy being kids, got to enjoy all sports. Is that how do you feel like, you like to play basketball, soccer, football? Do you like to enjoy all sports?
I just like football.
Football?
I don't like basketball anymore
No.
because once I got hit in the eye with a basketball.
That hurts. I got hit in the nose one time with a basketball. I've had a guy dunk a basketball in my face and bounce off my head. Thank God for the spiky hair, or it would have hurt really bad. But I think, it's sports in general. Is there one, Eduardo, that you grew up playing a lot?
Yes, I actually play baseball at a good level, and I did a tryout for UWF and some of them
Nice.
MLB teams, but I got hurt on my shoulder, so I couldn't continue. But that's something I did. I played soccer, baseball, I did jiu-jitsu, karate as a kid.
Okay.
So,
I did
I did
jiu-jitsu.
swimming, so that we try to introduce him to many different sports for the same reason you say. See what he likes, and he enjoys them all, and makes some different friends.
Well, and you can learn a lot about sports. We got a guy, Coach Alex, coming down here who's a UFC MMA trainer, and they taught a lot of football players techniques and discipline. And sports is so mental. I mean, people don't understand. It's one of those kind of games. That's why a team that's up 31-0 can all of a sudden lose a game 34-31 in the same game. It's because the mindset of teams feel like maybe a Super Bowl against Atlanta, maybe games like that. It sounds familiar, but it's good games like that. Yeah.
The Patriots are probably like the best team.
That's a good answer.
And when do they see Tom Brady's techniques?
Well, Tom Brady is a quarterback that's probably the perfect example because when he was at Michigan, it wasn't always perfect for him. It wasn't. I mean, he had to work hard. He got with the right quarterback and coach. He got with the right guy in Bill Belichick. He got with the right system, and it enhanced it. The right way, not the Barry Bonds enhancers, but enhance the system, meaning what can be good becomes great in the right situation. It's like anything in life. If you have the right situation, your food, by the way, Mr. Boy, you guys have the most amazing food.
Appreciate
I'm just saying, we go there. Jeff and I both said you try it once and you're hooked. You did the party for us, and I had it once, and it wasn't like, oh, okay, I have to stop there. It's I got to stop there. And if anybody hasn't been there, try it and then come back because you guys know you're good. You have confidence in what you make, and it's authentic. It's something that's real and local.
It's good, simple food, made fresh every day, and made with a passion. That's what it is.
Yeah, because it's not. People will go pick up a rotisserie chicken. I'll sit there and half of it will be eaten, and then I usually throw it away. I'm like, after a day or two. No, every single bite. I'm the guy licking off the bones when you guys have your food there. But and look at it. If you're watching here, we got the amazing chicken here, and I'm gonna go to break in a little while so I can try it. But you talk about the obstacles and journeys of life, it wasn't always perfect for Brady and those guys. And, I think that's when you're a small business owner, you know that. Because at first you look at a lot of the numbers, and there's nights where you're looking overtime and you're like, man, I know we're having a great day. And
what I'm going to do Friday for payroll.
Yeah. Hey, look, in this business, we have the ESPN name, but there are a lot of days. One of the reasons losing throat is right now we just started a year ago. We've got the support of the #1 country music station in America. News radio covering all the big events, and we want to first off make sure to say today our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in NAS dealing with the tragic shooting right there. And I know news radio has been covering around the clock, Cat Country. Sports is to give people a little bit of an outlet away from having to watch the terrors and the horrors of what's going on around us. We all have that in life, and I hope that even if we give you 5 minutes of a ride home to talk sports, that's what we're here for. But it's something that family is close to my heart, and I know you guys are building it through family and what you guys do. And but yeah, there are those days where you show up here. I've had days where I'm tired of talking sports. Done 48 shows, or my can't, and I'm like, you know what? But at the end of the day, what we're building here, I'm going to look back. I want to look down 10, 15 years down the road and say, you know what? Look at the impact we made, and those families that come up to you and say thank you for what you do. And I can see that in your guys' business and what you guys do, and the way as a Patriot fan, you're already taking that right step right there.
Yes,
so, but when it comes to football in general, in SEC football down here have you guys adopted a SEC football team down here?
We've done the Miami Dolphins before.
Oh.
My dad was the head coach.
Okay.
So he's talking about little flag football
He's
league
like,
that way. Yeah.
Do not recognize me with this year's team. I'm not that
so
team.
It's funny that you asked that. Living here, people think Alabama or Auburn or LSU now.
Yeah, I'm married to.
Following Brady, we all root for Michigan at the house.
Okay.
So we kind of Michigan fans and the Wolverines.
Well, there you go. That's not a bad team. Look, we got this is more of a melting pot of fans that people want to admit. I mean, the voices will speak for a lot of people, but that does not mean that that's how everybody feels. Between having a Pensacola beach area where a lot of people come down and have second homes, or a lot of people moving down for the warmer weather. You go to NAS, a lot of military coming in from all over. You have, everywhere we look, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. Jeff Waynes, who just walked in, huge Notre Dame fan. Look, up being from Boston, UCF, we just celebrate fake national titles. But everywhere you go, there are a lot of fans. But yes, the core teams around here: Bama, Auburn, LSU, Florida State, and Florida State needs to figure out their coaching search. That's not a good look right now.
They need to turn that around, yes, sir.
It's been a little tough for them, but we know that when you've been at a certain level, it's easier to turn that around. So. Big game this week, though, Juan. I want to get some predictions before we let you go with the games with Kansas City and New England. That's a huge game. The Patriots are sitting there right now at 10-2. The Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. He sort of talks a little Kermit the Frog. I can't say anything right there, but, well, I like to put ketchup on things and throw the guys are okay. But he is really good at quarterback. He really knows how to play quarterback. Now, he is a guy that we end up beating last year in the AFC title game. It was very close, kind of lucky stars on that. But do you have any score predictions for the game at home in the spot that you and your dad were sitting there watching them beat the Browns this year? The Patriots win, 170-0? What are we going on this one?
I saw the play where I think Bowden punched the ball out of one of the Browns' hands, but then he ran all the yards, and then my favorite part is when he went into the end zone.
Really?
He actually did that.
That sounds like about as cool of a story as you can tell. Punching the ball out, grabbing it, and running it back. Bolden is a very a good player to have because he plays special teams. Oh, it was so close last week too on that comeback.
Fast.
That game against Houston. It gets you so close, and that's
I was grumpy about that.
I was very grumpy. I slept on the couch grumpy. It was one of these, and nobody wanted to be me around me. I was the grumpy cat. I was that bitter, fearsome. But Bolden was so close to making that play. His hand went up in the air to try to catch that. If he was just a little more of Michael Jordan, there could have been. But it was it was so close. But the regular season for NFL fans is not where it counts. As a Patriot fan, you sort of sit back, you relax. and you try to get to the next level. If you want, now this thing has sort of been semi-used. Some guys have tried to rip it in half, but if you'd like this, I got a number one fan for you right there. You can take that home.
Hey, thank you
That's
so
yours
much.
right there.
Appreciate it.
Do not try to put that on a car. That license plate's actually wanted in 48 states. I'm just kidding with you, but no. Just go ahead and there you go. You can take that home. Thank you guys for what you do. I'm looking forward to getting involved with tackling your tailgate. So on Fridays people can try the food.
Perfect.
But if you got a Christmas party, which everybody does, I know there's a lot tonight. But if you're hosting a party, New Year's Eve party, if you have any of the NFL games, college football games, go to Mr. Pollo. They do an awesome job with catering, and set yourself up a couple easy platters Friday, Saturday. Pick it up. It's quick and easy, and it's amazing food. Thank me later for it. And Eduardo, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you so much,
buddy.
Appreciate
Juan,
it.
high five.
Thank you.
And looking forward to coming back and talking some more football with you every Friday. So, all right. Thanks again to Juan, Eduardo, Mr. Pollo, and they do an awesome job. And also, if you need any of ready for your workday as well, Cintas does a great job with all your uniforms and as well. So we'll come back for more. We'll talk the big college football games for the week. We'll hear from more after Jerry Jones is wanting Urban Meyer to step up there. We'll see. Dallas seems the story of Dallas's life is what coach do we want next? I guess unless you're under the age of 25, you don't know what a Super Bowl looks like in Dallas. But apparently they expect to win it every year. That's sort of how it is. We're coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV.
Okay, hi, what are we doing today?
I need something that screams something fun. Nothing too on the face, nothing too off the face, but also totally hot.
So I have the perfect thing. It's the most food mullet. You're totally business in the front, but tailgate in the back. It's a fat party. People are having fun. Snap. All your friends are going to be like, whoa, awesome setup. Everyone else is going to be all jelly, okay?
Just like a killer mullet, Moe's Catering will turn the back of your ride into a tailgate party that's sure to turn some heads. Just order ahead and pick it up on your way.
Moe's Southwest Grill, now open in Pace on Highway 90 next to Publix grocery store.
Paul Feinbaum here for the Southeast leader for cranes and equipment rental, CraneWorks. The CraneWorks team in Nashville, Birmingham, and Mobile is ready to make your next construction or maintenance project a big success. Give CraneWorks a call for your next lift, machinery moving, or rigging project. And don't forget, RentalWorks has a full line of rental equipment for jobs both big and small, and now offering qualified operators for all equipment, including aerial and earth-moving equipment. Call CraneWorks at 877-282-LIFT or visit them on the web at craneworks.com.
The wait is finally over. Grizzly Axes is now open on Davis Highway across from O'Charlie's. Grizzly Axes is an unforgettable, exhilarating team-building experience. Whether it be corporate events, bachelor or bachelorette parties, heck, even hanging out with friends after work enjoying some cold beer and throwing axes, Grizzly Axes is Pensacola's go-to location for stress-releasing fun. Reserve your zone now at grizzlyaxe.com. Be a grown axe man at Grizzly Axes on Davis Highway.
I'm Ina Kimes, host of the new podcast, ESPN Daily. Each morning, we'll bring you a deep dive into a single story from one of ESPN's hundreds of reporters. ESPN Daily is presented by Dell Small Business. Small businesses save big all Cyber Monday week on Dell computers with Intel Core processors, plus free shipping on everything. Call 877-BUY-DELL to speak to a Dell Small Business Technology Advisor, or visit Dell.com/SB Cyber Monday during Dell's biggest Cyber Monday week ever.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron.
He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
A reminder, coming up here this week on ESPN Pensacola, we will have the UWF game for you right here. You can catch that game coming up here at noon tomorrow with The UWF Argonauts on the road against Lenore-Rhine taking on the Bears. Catch the pregame at 11:30. Davis Allen will be out with the sports call at Seville starting at 10. We're going to have a blast, so come join us. Have some fun for the Central Credit Union of Florida Seville Quarter tailgate party right there at 10 all the way until the end of kickoff, and having some fun right there on ESPN Pensacola. And welcome back. It is the NFL Tailgate Show right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 a.m. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 a.m., 99.1 FM. Look, this is the end of the road right now on a Friday for me right now. This has been.
I just looked at you like,
I've talked all week long about how. Usually I'll say one thing and think of it all week long, like, I can't believe I said that, or things like that. Right now, every other word out of my mouth right now can be take that nice smell. We've made this whole place smell like one of those tropical, kind of some good food right there. And Jeff, I'll let you have a side of coleslaw, by the way. But
I will fight you for their coleslaw.
I will fight you in the parking lot right there. But it's been a fun one. Tomorrow should be fun too. We'll be out there at the Gulf Breeze Parade. There's the Navarre Parade, I know, and then the Milton Parade as well. So, go home and get some rest, Chad. Yeah, that's like no. And then, but we do have the UWF watch party tomorrow, and that should be a lot of fun. So I think we're going to be at that. I'm not sure.
The watch party? Yeah.
You say that so confident.
I'm saying it confident, hoping I'm confident.
Go downstairs and be like, yeah, okay, we're not going to be at the parade. So one of us, we'll rock, paper, scissors for who's going to be at the parade. And tonight, though, you've got your Oregon Ducks taking on the Utah Utes right there. Should be a fun one. Oregon checking in at a. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be. They're going to be all right. Not as much. You don't think that as much, but you know what? Utah is a team that is getting more confident each week. I got to hand it tip of the cap to all the teams that went out there last week and were able to win facing a lot of pressure, meaning that not the teams they were playing. Colorado for Utah. Kansas for Baylor was nothing. And Oklahoma was better than Oklahoma State. But one thing we do know is that all of those teams needed to pass the eye test. They needed to go out there and just – because everybody after Alabama lost to Auburn was like, okay, all right. This is your moment. And they all went out and just throttled their opponent. So it's making it more intriguing this week. Frankly, Georgia, if Georgia wins, they sort of just ruin all of this hype and conversation. If Georgia beats LSU, then none of this matters for those teams outside of one of those bowl games that everybody's like, yeah, I'll watch. Yeah, it's around New Year's, I'll watch. But for the college football playoff, it's going to come down to a couple really big teams, and I think one of them is Utah. And Utah tonight has a chance. It's their own game, capturing that Friday night. A lot of high school football's over. Even Escambia, they're not going to be playing on Friday. They're actually going to be playing next Thursday. They'll be heading down to the state championship on Wednesday. We're going to be out there with Cat Country and News Radio and all the groups sending them off in their talk to Ryan James, the athletic director this week. But it should be a lot of fun. And Friday, no high school football tonight. Should be a great night.
It's weird.
It is weird.
No high school football on Friday night.
It's an Ice Flyers game tonight. We got Greg Harris coming on. Actually, we got one of the members of the Lightning joining us coming up here, so it should be fun. That's in about 5 minutes. Remind me before this Dayquil wears off to go ahead and that's what we call it. Quote Dayquil. That's what I'm taking, by the way. That was that substance in there. But I'm telling you, it is. It's going to be a lot of fun to see who wins tonight. And you're not so confident in your Big O. You don't got your Big O face on right now.
I've got my Big O shirt on. I didn't wear the hat. No. And listen, it's out of respect to Utah. I've seen this before.
I thought you were about to say I was getting out of respect to you, and I was like, oh, thank you.
No,
you just added
absolutely
Ta
not.
right there.
No,
just
you know better than
puns.
that. But listen, the last big game Oregon was in was what?
Uh-huh.
That wasn't an answer. Well, the last big game. That's how I know. Right. That is how I know.
Right,
you're
you are. Right, you are. Yeah. Who do you think wins tonight? Absolutely, absolutely.
The last big game Oregon was in this year was what?
Auburn.
There you go. And how did that end?
Disgustingly terrible for them.
Started out great.
Ducking terrible.
And then absolutely ducking terrible. Okay? So all I'm going to say, they've got to prove that they can win the big games. And that's why, when you look at the Pac-12 in general, that's why they don't get the respect. They don't win the big games. They don't win the games when they get a chance to step up. They don't pull it off. Now, for Utah, I don't like Utah. I just don't. But I like the way they're playing football. I've told you this.
Park City's beautiful. I thought you meant
you
the state.
frown upon
Okay.
me when I say this, but I love a defensive football team. I still believe in the defense. This Utah Utes team, they average like 10 points a game on defense, and you can throw they don't play nobody. It doesn't matter. They give up 10. I'm not saying just you. We had that argument earlier.
I went to
today.
UCF. We use that line with respect. All right.
But the Utes, they play nasty defense. Mm-hmm. Okay, their offense, they can throw the football. Huntley is a good quarterback. He's thrown 16 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Like usually running quarterbacks, they make more mistakes than that when you look at it. He's thrown 2, and he's thrown for almost 2,800 yards, which, by the way, is only 300 yards behind Justin Herbert in a pass-heavy offense, which is pretty good. And Zach Moss, he's a beast. I mean, over almost 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns. These teams are evenly matched when you look at it on paper, and I think people give Oregon the edge. I've seen a lot of people give Oregon the edge because of Justin Herbert. He's struggled the past few games. He's not been himself, or maybe he is. That's where we don't know. He's shown so many good signs. He's got a rocket arm. That's why the NFL loves him. But he still makes those key mistakes, and that's where I'm rooting for him. And if they pull it off, I'll be the happiest duck out there. But they got to prove they can win the big game. And Utah, I tell you what, Utah sees an opportunity that if they can impress the voters, and the eye test is going to be key tonight, like you've said, they can find their way in the playoff.
Coming up in a few minutes from now, Josh Dreeth will join us, the manager of youth and street hockey for Tampa Bay Sports and part of the Build the Thunder initiative with the Tampa Bay Lightning. One of the players who has been at all the schools this week. Sent some pretty cool picks. I know Big Moose had his son out there. Little Moose was at Cordova. I was actually supposed to. That was the school we were supposed to go to on behalf of Little Moose and all of the kids out there. Just thank me later because
Little Moose would have been sick.
Nobody needed to get
you.
that. It would have been you've been quarantined.
I'm popping like vitamin C and all these.
You're lucky to be alive right now. You've been in here for a whole week, sheltered, and this is the perfect to like when the red light goes off, like you have been locked in. This has been lock-in zone. Other people have been able to scamper. Like Jeff Waynes will see it from a distance and in a good way. Jeff, he doesn't need to get sick. He's got way too much stuff going on. We can't have him getting sick. We can't have a lot of people getting sick. When we come back from the break, no, I'm just.
Tom Brady's done.
On that note, he's like, wait a second, why are you pointing at everybody? You just skipped me. But you're already in the danger zone. When we come back, we're going to get to more on the games. Ed Ogeron on planning on recruiting this week. I'm going to be at about 18 to 20 homes next week. So I'm going to have 18 to 20 gumbos. Go Tigers. And, How about Urban Meyer, the possibility to Dallas? Look, he coached Zeke. That's all we need.
You have the Ed O voice. You're getting there right now, by the way.
No, it hurts if I go right into the, get that, got to get a couple of players in there, Georgia.
That's probably what you sound like to certain people,
Go
though.
Tigers. Yeah, I don't need to try to.
There it is.
I like it. She's like, it's a soothing voice. Like, no, this is
She's probably like, it's hot.
It is hot. It's burning right now. It's actually that peppermint spray, by the way. Ooh, it's good. Little minty. We're coming back for more with Josh Dreeth of the Tampa Bay Lightning right here on ESPN Pensacola, and Blab TV.
I'm really hungry, but I don't want to spend a fortune.
Well, you're in luck. Now you can get Denny's Super Slam with 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, hash browns, and 2 pancakes, all for just $5.99.
That is a great deal. So I get all of that for just $5.99?
You sure do.
Wow, this meal just keeps getting better and better.
Some might say super.
I see what you did there.
The $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. No substitutions.
Well, you want to see a Broadway show, but New York City just isn't in the cards.
Broadway's coming to you. Get your tickets now for the 2019-2020 Broadway season at the Sanger Theater. See amazing Broadway touring shows like Jersey Boys, Cats, The Color Purple, Beautiful, An American in Paris, and Waitress for a third of the cost you would pay on Broadway. See actual Broadway shows right here in downtown Pensacola. Get all the details at PensacolaSanger.com.
Are your aching feet stopping you from where you want to go? The average person puts a ton of stress on their feet and ankles. At Pensacola Podiatry, Dr. Frank Castagna and Dr. Matt Etheridge are both board certified and understand the importance of foot and ankle health. From the most common foot issue to the most complex, Pensacola Podiatry is always one step ahead with 3 convenient locations and most insurance accepted. For more information, visit them online at PensacolaPodiatry.com.
Need help funding your holidays this year? Central Credit Union is offering a loan for $2,000 at 2% annual percentage for 24 months. Apply online at ccufl.org. If you are traveling out of town for the holidays and need access to your account at Central Credit Union, you can visit one of the over 5,000 shared service centers across the nation. Visit ccufl.org and click Shared Services to find out more. That's ccufl.org. Central Credit Union is where you belong.
Hello, everybody. You're looking live at Fansville, a college football utopia.
Fansville.
Where the rivers flow with ice-cold Dr. Pepper.
Delicious.
Where every day is Saturday and everyone's a fan, even babies.
Fan babies.
And the seasons never change because the only season is college football season. Get a taste of Fansville this fall during a college football game near you. Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Grab some today.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there.
We are broadcasters. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
We're gonna hit this town, been a long time coming, been a long hard drive. Gonna smoke some, gonna drink some, gonna find a little trouble if not, we're gonna make some. Rolling.
And welcome back. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Chad Brillante alongside Jeff Price. And now joining us, he is a very busy man here lately. Manages youth and street hockey of Tampa Bay Sports and Entertainment. Build the Thunder Initiative of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he's been all around town at all the local elementary schools this week, hanging out, shooting some hockey pucks with some of the kids and teaching them some professional techniques. Josh Streeth joining us. Josh, we appreciate your time as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chad.
Well, Josh, talk a little bit about that because you were a busy man this week getting to go to some of these schools and have some fun. And, a lot of kids in this area because of the Ice Flyers and growing up around a lot of hockey families, a lot of people down here with NAS and coming to making their second home down here on the beach. And we grew up, I grew up in Boston. My voice right now is a voice on a bunch of Dayquil, but at the same time, usually from Boston and grew up a Bruins fan. So understand it, lived in the St. Pete area and know a lot of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it rocks there. But just talk about the atmosphere this week being around some of the schools.
Yeah, we love coming to Pensacola. This is our third year visiting the area, working with the Pensacola Ice Flyers, Greg Harris and his team. They had players out all week, so we visited 10 elementary schools, probably donated over 2,000 sticks and balls to the children that we saw. And then each school we visit as well gets their own set of ball hockey equipment. So when we leave, they're able to teach it in their PE class. So it was a very successful week. Some of the guys are at the game tonight, and then they're gonna be running a try ice hockey for free tomorrow at the Bay Center as well. So it's been a great week, and every year we come, there's more and more engagement with the game of hockey. And every year, I'm also surprised how much these kids and some of the adults that we see love their ice flyers as well.
They really do, and I think a lot of that stems towards what the Lightning have done as well. Watching the games on Sun Sports, it's always televised around here, and getting a chance to watch the games. But also the success that's been bred. Martin St. Louis to watching guys that have gone over there, Stamkos, and guys that have really shined over the last couple of years, making the Lightning not only a competitor, but one of the best teams, if not the best team, over the last 10 years in the NHL.
Yeah, we've had a very exciting team over 5-10 years now, and ever since winning the cup, the game of hockey has really increased, and the fandom has increased over in this area and the Tampa area, all across the state of Florida. Really, I grew up in Toronto, Canada. I've been down here 6 years, and every year it just gets you see more and more Lightning hats out in the community, and more kids and families loving the game of hockey, thanks to the excitement of the game and everything that our owner, Mr. Vinnick, Jeff Vinnick, is doing in the community.
Okay, so you grew up in Toronto. So how do you deal with that? Because, see, look, when I worked with the Orlando Magic and did some stuff, when the Celtics would play the Magic in a big game, I sort of just stayed quiet and didn't go to those games because I knew they would kick me out of the media booth. How does that work when the Maple Leafs are playing the Lightning? How do you deal with that?
Well, I'm a pretty honest and open guy, so what I would say is my first year here as an intern, it was very quiet and awkward, but not anymore. Not anymore, Chad. I'm all in on the Lightning, and I love working for the organization and living in this area. How can't you love the weather, right? And the team, so.
No, it's not bad, and Gasparilla is a fun event. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of fun. What the Blues did last year, Josh, I don't think people understand. To go from where they did, how hard that is to achieve. But it just goes to show you that, when teams come together, the right chemistry, the right organization, and the right belief, anything's possible in sports. But that was an achievement at the hands of my faith, my friends and family and everybody up in Boston. But it's incredible when you have a story like that. And what they did, defying odds, never winning a championship, at one point the worst record in all the NHL, was pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. That was an amazing year for the Blues last year. But what it is coming together at the right time as well, right? So they started off rough and they really clicked at the right time, and that's what's important in the game of hockey. There's a lot of competitive teams in the league this year, so just got to make sure that you come together as a team at the right time heading into the playoffs.
Speaking with Josh Street, the manager of youth and street hockey, Tampa Bay Sports and Entertainment, build the Thunder Initiative of the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've been around all the schools. Josh, a couple questions that seem so obvious to people, but nobody ever really wants to. They just watch hockey and assume it's that easy because they make it look graceful, like that person in the Olympics that does a triple flip, and you're like, and everybody cheers, and you're like, and you're sitting on your couch being like, Lord knows I couldn't do that. But when it comes to hockey, the what goes into the skill set are usually the fastest people on skates, also the fastest people outside of skates.
No, I think skating's a whole different skill set, right? So you got to have strong legs and a strong base. So strong skaters aren't necessarily strong runners, but all strong skaters aren't necessarily strong hockey players as well. You got to be able to put it all together, right? So you got to be able to skate and stick handle and shoot all at the same time. So it's being able to put all those skills together, starting with a strong base. And a lot of our players make it look easy, as you can see. Braden Point, Matthew Joseph, some of the faster guys in the league make it look extremely easy. But it is a difficult sport. That's why, what we did this week is something that's a little more relatable, being able to play ball hockey out there with the kids at the schools. And so they don't have to worry about skating necessarily. They just have to worry about, passing and shooting the orange ball to each other, which is perfectly fine. If they're playing the game of ball hockey, they're a Lightning fan and they're still falling in love with the game.
When you look right now at the game, how hard is it to teach the youth? Because let's be honest, I got a 3-year-old running around, and she's as honest as it gets and puts me in my place every single time. But, I'll say something like, that's a beautiful blue jacket. She's like, Dad, you're so silly. That's turquoise. And she's actually right. But when it comes down to kids in hockey, every kid watches their favorite players, but they also love the excitement of checking the guy into the boards and things like that. How hard is it sometimes to get kids to be like, okay, we're not going to be teaching mama, you going home to mama, teaching you to, be getting losing a couple teeths in a fight with your friend there at school. So how hard is it sometimes to calm the kids down and teach them the basics instead of the fun parts they watch with their dad on TV?
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying there, but the game's changed. The game's changed a lot, right? So it's a very fast and exciting game now, and the main thing to do when you're working with these kids is just to keep them moving, keep them engaged while having fun, and just working on skills without them realizing they're working on skills. So getting them to run around, getting them to chase each other, play tag, and work on these skating skills and stick handling skills without really realizing they're working on those skills.
You know, Josh, I would say that, Matthews and McDavid are a couple of the obvious ones, but who do you, when you look at a person that you can sort of say, okay, this is the blueprint of how to become a great success, doing all the things right by technique and structure and being just a good team player. What guy in the NHL today do you think epitomizes that?
Well, I'll talk about two players on our team. I think Braden Point and Cirelli are two players that, play the game the right way. And by playing the game the right way, meaning playing on the offensive side of the game and also being able to skate back and be responsible on the defensive side of the game. So in regards to our team, I think Braden Point and Cirelli are two guys that are really still young players and play the game the right way.
And talking about the Lightning this year, you guys are once again a team that, when you talk about the record early into the season, you guys are sitting there at 13-10 and with 3 ties in overtime this year. But 30 points, you're still right there in the mix, and there's a long season ahead. But talking about what you see going forward with this team, do you feel this team has the confidence to make one of those runs again? Because it's still early and it's still wide open.
Yeah, we definitely have the skill and the confidence in the room. I think ever since the Sweden trip, we've kind of came together more as a team. We've played some tough teams, right? Playing against the Blues and the Predators the other night. We've played some tough games coming back, but we're starting to come together as a team here and putting some more pucks in the net. Now it's just about taking care of the puck on the defensive side, moving forward, and continuing to gel together as a team.
What stadium, outside of right there getting a chance to play in Tampa, what stadium is the most exciting stadium that the players enjoy going to?
I personally, and I think some of the players would say it as well, is like Bell Center. So in Montreal, it's almost like a cathedral. It's the sound in there and the atmosphere in there is amazing. The United Center in Chicago is another great rink. Probably those two are the two loudest and most engaging. And then Nashville is really turning into quite the hockey city as well. So I hear that Bridgestone Arena is a pretty fun place to play.
Well, Florida, for the Panthers, you always know you'll have more of your team there than the other team. You know what I'm saying?
No comment.
No comment right there. You can hear the echoes out there. Hello. No, but Josh, I look right now at what you guys are doing for the youth, and it's awesome. Just talk about some of the smiles and the faces. Did you feel, because when you think Pensacola at first, you don't always think hockey. When I got here, I moved here about 7 years ago. I'd never been to Pensacola before that when I met my wife, and but I realized real quickly by going to Ice Flyers game, and they're the Ice Pilots before that, and what Greg Harris has done, they had 3 SPHL titles in the first 4 seasons under Rod Aldoff and being here, and it was amazing getting to watch some of those. Literally a walk-off goal to win a championship against Peoria. A walk-off in the final seconds made headlines. Kenny Mayne was talking about it. And I remember sitting there and realizing how big of a hockey town this is. But were you surprised by going to the schools to see how big that the kids are into hockey in this area?
I was, and our whole team was surprised on how engaged some of these kids are with the Ice Flyers. And, the truth of the matter is that we can create this excitement over this week. But what the Ice Flyers are doing, they're there all year round. So they're the team that we have to rely on to continue to help grow the game in that area. And I can't say enough on how much, Greg and his team, they've had players at all the schools that we were at, players coming out to the schools, 2-3 players. So they're so engaged in the community, and just the effort that Greg and his team put in to giving back and being involved with what we're doing is really going to carry on the hockey love and the smiles and the fun and the engagement once we leave. So yeah, it's surprising, encouraging, exciting, all those words. So we had a lot of fun this week.
Well, we always appreciate what you guys do. I grew up right there, like I said. The Tampa Bay Lightning have been such a staple. We enjoy watching the games right there, and also with the involvement right there with the Ice Flyers. So, Josh, we appreciate your time, and I hope all is well this season. Good luck, and thank you for what you guys do.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and go Ice Flyers.
Go Ice Flyers. Appreciate it, Josh.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Josh Stretha, a member right there of the Thunder Initiative with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They work directly each and every year, having a chance to work with the Pensacola Ice Flyers, and was at a bunch of schools this week. Jeff, I know we were looking at the list. Greg talked about it earlier this week, and there was about, I think, 15, 20 schools. They were going to each school around the whole area. They had 2 different caravans that they were taking sticks and going down there with pucks, and they had a whole setup where you could go out there and shoot the puck around with the kids, and just an awesome time overall, and just great people.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is I think you said it best. When people think Pensacola, they don't think hockey. Well, they should. We have all these great teams when you look at UWF and the Blue Wahoos, and the list goes on and on and on, but the Ice Flyers are consistent every single year. I mean, and anybody that's been to a game knows exactly what we're talking about. That place packs out. It is awesome. I mean, so listen, I've been to a Nashville Predators game like he was talking about, and Nashville is becoming quite the little hockey city. They're building and they're buying into it. Mm-hmm. And so that stadium, those tickets are expensive, and if you don't get them, like, it's not one of those things that you just show up that night and be like, hey, let's go check a hockey game out. You better get them like weeks in advance because they sell out quick. Luckily, before our trip there, I did, and I paid like $120 a ticket, and then I realized, you know what, every penny was worth it. And the thing is hockey is one of those. It's a fast-paced game.
Yeah,
it has a little bit of that violence, the controlled violence most of the time, but it's so much fun. And when that horn goes off after they score, and like at the Ice Flyers game, they do the celebration. You're throwing your hands up, everybody's having a good time, you're partying, like. It's just something special that I think if you take your child to that, they become interested in hockey. That's what happened to me when I was little. Mm-hmm. In fact, I broke my left arm playing hockey. And it was because I got interested in it, and I started playing in a league, and then I was dumb, and I tried to do the whole checking into the boards, except I wasn't very fast with it, and I checked myself into the boards, and there went my arm. So anyway, but it's fun, man. And hockey is one of those that people are like, oh, I can't pay attention to it. Well, you haven't tried. Like, it's so much fun just to sit back and watch. And the other thing, too, is hockey's perfect because when our football's over with and before our baseball is beginning, if you're not a basketball fan, some people aren't, hockey's always there. But, no, Greg, what Greg and those guys have done with the Ice Flyers is tremendous. Even when they were the Ice Pilots, I still have the old Ice Pilots jersey in my house. Mm-hmm. And I had the old stick that I had won in a competition and things like that. It's just, and you see the Tampa Bay Lightning, they come up here and they spend their time, they spend their resources up here with our kids, and they invest in them like that. It's so much fun. I mean, how can you not like that?
Well, it's going to be an awesome time tonight. You can get yourself some teddy bear tosses on the ice. Then tomorrow, a Peanuts jersey. I got to get that. Brittany said I need to get Leighton a jersey. Whatever I need to do to make that happen.
I already told you, I've got 2 inflatables. Peanuts inflatables for Christmas at my house. So
you better say that clearly.
I am all for it, okay? I love peanuts.
Maybe make sure to pronunciate that correctly right there. That's all I'm going to say. You first said that, I was like, wait a second. No, it's Friday, but come on, man. All right. Yeah.
These meds are really kicking in for you.
Peanuts inflatables. Peanuts inflatables. You can get those right there at the game. Make sure Peanuts
jerseys you can get at the game. You can't get Peanuts inflatables.
Say it clear. Customers can purchase gift cards at DejaUGulfCoast.com for a day spa. Well, quit getting that crappy gift. Deja U can get the right gift for you. This sounds like a treat. I don't care how you judge me these days. Is he talking about? I would love to spend about a week at this place right now. It sounds amazing. It is a spa. You get yourself you can get yourself that massage, whatever you need for the ladies out there or guys, whatever. We're not judging. Botox to amazing skincare lines. They've got flowers, jewelry, anything you need. And by the way, you get 10% off a gift card of $300 or more. So get that ultimate gift. That's $30 on a gift this Christmas that you can use to get your kids some Paw Patrol toys or other things like that. DejaUGulfCoast.com and get them the gift that will be given back for you as well. Deja U right there. Check them out at DejaUGulfCoast.com. When we come back, we'll talk some more college football. Big game tonight right around the corner, about an hour away, as the Utah Utes and the Oregon Ducks get ready to battle it out in California.
Imogen and I started Jewelers Trade Shop in 1956.
Our goal at Jewelers Trade Shop has always been to give our customers the best experience imaginable. It's something that my grandfather instilled in my father, and without a doubt, my father has passed on to me. Those basic core goals and values that shaped our business 56 years ago are still very much alive and a driving force behind Jewelers Trade Shop today.
For 3 generations, the story continues. Jewelers Trade Shop in downtown Pensacola.
Hey, sports fans, we know that we all fumble now and then when we're headed for the end zone, and our vehicles are no exception. Next time your bad ride is a little offsides, take it to AMCO Transmission, your total car care facility. And with no interest financing, even with less than perfect credit, you'll drive away feeling as if you caught the winning touchdown. You always make the right play when you take your vehicle to AMCO Transmission on Davis Highway, just south of Airport Boulevard. Visit them on Facebook or call 800-GO-AMCO. AA-MCO.
I'm Mina Kimes, host of the new podcast, ESPN Daily. Each morning, we'll bring you a deep dive into a single story from one of ESPN's hundreds of reporters. ESPN Daily is brought to you by Indeed, helping over 3 million businesses worldwide find their newest star players. Post job openings with skills tests, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Sprint to Indeed.com/ESPN Daily and find a winner. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying.
It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one.
You can try a full 30-day bottle of
P3 Advanced. Free. Just pay shipping and handling.
No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free.
Call 1-800-253-7136.
Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now.
Call 1-800-253-7136.
Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer.
Call 1-800-253-7136. 1-800-253-7136.
Paul Feinbaum here for the Southeast leader for cranes and equipment rental, Craneworks. The Craneworks team in Nashville, Birmingham, and Mobile is ready to make your next construction or maintenance project a big success. Give Craneworks a call for your next lift, machinery moving, or rigging project. And don't forget, RentalWorks has a full line of rental equipment for jobs both big and small, and now offering qualified operators for all equipment, including aerial and earth-moving equipment. Call Craneworks at 877-282-LIFT or visit them on the web at craneworks.com.
UWF with the upset. Will Kennedy joins us to recap the Valdosta State win and a look ahead to the quarterfinals matchup against Lenore-Rhine, and it's Conference Championship Week this Saturday on Sports Call with Davis and Justin on ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome to ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1. Pensacola's home to the best talk in sports, new and improved. We are ESPN Pensacola 1330 and FM 99.1.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Chad Brillante, Jeff Price. Jeff, some of the big games this week. Which one outside of tonight for personal reasons, but which one are you looking forward to the most on Saturday?
Well, there's two, and I'm not buying into the whole Oklahoma-Baylor thing. I think Oklahoma will handle Baylor. I just think Oklahoma's got their number, put it that way. LSU-Georgia is a big one to me, and listen, we hear people talk about all the time, that can be a coin flip. I find that hard to believe, and not any disrespect to Georgia or the Georgia fans out there, but if Cager, even if DeAndre Swift is there, okay, you got some offense, and you got that, Swift has always been that reliable guy. I mean, he's just unbelievable. But Lawrence Cager and DeAndre Swift are out. And then Pickens is out in the first half. That's tough. And that Georgia defense is going to have to play the best game they've played all year long. Not saying they can't. But LSU has proven to not be slowed down by anybody. And now you can say, well, they haven't played a defense like this, but I just don't think it matters. I think that LSU, it may be close to start off with, but LSU's going to get they're going to get the drives going, they're going to get their feet wet, and they're going to start rolling. And Georgia and Fromm are not going to be able to answer back, where you have to answer back to this LSU team.
But, I mean, a lot of times in college football, we talk about teams that get to a certain point, and some of the times we don't even know who their quarterback is. I mean, if we don't follow the team or, things like that. But when you talk about a team like Georgia, Jake Fromm was on that short list of what he was able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was at one point a Heisman Trophy candidate going into the season. So even though, yes, they don't have a ton of weapons, but first off, Georgia hasn't had a game this year outside of South Carolina that just was a freak. I mean, you're allowed sometimes in the SEC especially, you're allowed a slip-up game. I mean, they're proof. Not other conferences a lot of times, but usually the Big Ten and the SEC, if you lose one game and you run the table and you win your championship, you're in. And Georgia's walking proof of that. But
Fromm doesn't win the big game.
I mean,
he's a great quarterback, and that's not taking anything away from him, but he does not win the big game, especially now that he is shorthanded big time. Now, he would have to play unbelievable, and I just don't see it.
You're right that they're not Joe Burrow and LSU are a better football team. I mean, the way Joe Burrow is playing, there's a reason they're a favorite in this game. But
what big game has he won to make you believe in him that he is going to overcome and that this Georgia team is going to overcome?
This isn't like Charlie Brewer and Baylor. You know what I'm saying? This isn't like one of these kind of moments where it's like we're going with a guy that is unheard of by the mainstream media. We're talking about a top-tier quarterback in the country who's probably going to be a top 20 draft pick that can win that his career record at Georgia is what? He's like 33-3
That's
or
not
something?
the question I asked you, though.
Well, it's not been his fault that the defense couldn't stop Alabama last couple years in the final play, or he'd be a two-time national champion maybe. I'm just saying he's not.
Yeah, but you can always throw blame the other way for guys.
But he's not a bum. I'm
not saying he's a bum, but he doesn't win the big game.
Jeff called him a bum. We're coming back for more.
Football is here. Catch all the UWF Argos games and the big NFL games every Saturday and Sunday on Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. If you would like to be a part of ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000 or visit our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Coming up on the Sports Drive, we're going to talk some more college football. The big games coming up as well. Big week in the NFL for the New Orleans Saints taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And we'll talk a little Urban Meyer right here in the second half.
Across the middle, and it's caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline
the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Both been beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest. 992 for Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trent Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
And welcome back. Second hour of the Sports Drive goes now. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Chad Brilliante alongside Jeff Price. Countdown begins for the football game and for the weekend to begin. This has been one of those kind of weeks. Survival mode in full force, and I'm glad that it is. I'm glad it's Friday. Tomorrow, UWF. We're gonna have a watch party down at Seville. It's gonna be a blast. A lot of fun down there. It'll be at 10 o'clock. Davis Allen will get the sports call kicked off at 11:30. Will Kenny will have pregame, and then 12 o'clock, all the festivities. And we'll be down there having some fun, getting ready for the big game as the Argonauts take on Lenoir-Rhyne. So looking forward to that matchup right there as Coach Shinnick's team continues to prove each and every big game that they're not only a team to mess with, but a team that just continues to dominate and continues to find a way to win. So looking forward to that game as it'll get kicked off tomorrow at noon. Also, talking about the matchups in college football, LSU and the matchup right there against Georgia. The bum, yes, you call it Jake Fromm right there. That one is going to be pretty exciting, and that matchup will get kick-started right there in the middle of the afternoon. Well, that's I think it's a 2 o'clock game. 3 o'clock game, correct? I want to say last time I checked, that was a 3 o'clock start. I'll double check on that. It is, 3 o'clock on CBS, and that matchup will be there as well at 3 o'clock. You've got Hawaii and Boise State right there in the Mountain West Championship. Cincinnati and Memphis. Maybe Florida State fans might be getting to watch their next coach. Did you see that story today? They were boosting up for another 20%. They needed this, I don't know. I think that if they're pretty much it's inevitable who your coach is going to be and you keep on having to ante up, that would be ridiculous.
I feel like that's somebody that's late to the party, and they're actually talking about the 20% they needed to get Willie out.
To me, that's a bad look regardless of any way you slice it. I mean, that's like you hosting a Christmas party, and, it's like you can bring your own beer, but that one person that doesn't bring your own beer and they're really thirsty and you look the other way that they can have a glass of your wine, that's getting real cheap. Yes, you're supposed to, but you're not going to kick the guy out if they have a glass or have one of your beers. I'd hope. You're pretty cheap if you do. But that's sort of like this look. It's like, okay, people already gave enough. You're in that situation where the alumni, and now that they're asking for more, like boosters, everybody, let's ante up. Like that. Dennis Dodd reported that today of CBS on John Thrasher, the president, asking for more donations. They need 20% more. It's just not a good look any way you slice it. Come on. People have already – the buyout is already going to cost them a ton of money. Whether they admit or not, that's coming directly from the sources with the alumni. It is. And that's costing them a bunch of money. So now you're going to ask them for more? It looks like you already failed with Bob Stoops. It looks like it hasn't worked out for James Franklin and some of the other coaches. Now, if it's Mike Norvell and you're asking for more money, nobody's going to want to support this cause. He might be a good coach, but you're not going to get all that money to be supported right away. No matter what, this is not a good look.
Yeah. I don't know. At this point, and we're hearing that they're supposed to make their decision, or they've made their decision, they're going to announce it, after the games and all this other stuff. And like we said, we've said this over and over and over and over again. Mike Norvell looks like the guy, obviously. When you break it down, process of elimination, that's what it says. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. And when we say that, that's because we're purely in speculation going, okay, well, it can only be this, this, and this. Mm-hmm. So, I I don't know. I mean, I agree, though. If you're a Florida State fan, check out that Cincinnati-Memphis game, who do you think is going to win that, by the way?
Which one? Cincinnati-Memphis? I think Memphis wins. I mean, Mike Norvell might not. He might not be fully invested in it, but I still think they're a better team.
Well, let me ask you, Baylor, Oklahoma.
I think he will be fully invested, though. He seems like a good enough coach to have his, to be there.
Baylor, Oklahoma.
I like Oklahoma.
I'm down with that. I believe Oklahoma's going to handle them. I'm just going down the list here, the game, just to get a pick from you, just to see. Interested how you feel about this. Appalachian State and Louisiana, Lafayette.
App State.
They look good this year, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
Central Michigan and Miami of Ohio. You know who the coach for Central Michigan is, of course.
Yeah, Jim McElwain.
The Shark.
So I'll go with Miami of Ohio.
That's my thinking at this point, too. And Central Michigan's a good team, but just because I just don't trust Jim McElwain. UAB and Florida Atlantic.
I'll go with FAU on this. I'll go FAU.
Lane Kiffin. And here's the thing, too. Arkansas and Ole Miss fans, pay attention because that could be possibly your coach as well. Let's see, Georgia and LSU.
I'm going to go with Georgia. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to go LSU. I got to.
But you like it close.
Yeah, I like it close.
Hawaii and Boise.
Boise.
You know what? Give me the Rainbow Warriors. Why not? I think Boise's going to win, but I've seen crazier things.
It's in Boise, I think. They're not.
Hawaii doesn't care. Hawaii plays in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to go to 30 degrees.
Listen, but they haven't had an opportunity like this in a while. I'm not saying they're going to win. Hawaii they rode the boat. They're the new row the boat because they have to go all the way to Boise. So anyway, I'm not even going to ask you about Virginia and Clemson. I think I know that answer. Ohio State and Wisconsin. I'm figuring you're going Ohio State, but do you see it being within 2 touchdowns?
No. I like the Buckeyes to win big.
Okay. And then, of course, Utah and Oregon.
I'm sticking to Oregon, but I'm not. It's not a confident answer.
I have ruined your confidence because of my negativity.
No. I mean, Utah's got way more to play for. They hit you hard. They're a more physical team. In the games like that, they can get up and be energized, just take over. I just think Herbert is also going to know this is a showcase game for him. I mean, this might be the last game he plays in because you never know if it's a bowl game. He might sit out. So this is his time to shine, and I think he will.
I think if Herbert doesn't play well tonight, I believe he'll go to the Senior Bowl. And the reason I say that is to kind of up his draft stock a little bit. It won't hurt him because we know like Burrow and those guys most likely are not going.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a perfect opportunity for him. By the way, tickets to that game tonight, $23.
$23. There you go. Not bad. Not too shabby at all. And I think it's a good deal on him.
Yeah, well, hey, you want to go to the LSU-Georgia game, 255
Yeah,
bones.
that's nosebleeders right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
At best, for that one for sure. When we come back, we're going to hear from legendary coach Gene Stallings. We'll talk a little more from our interview and get to some more on what's going on with the big games coming up here tonight. It's all coming back right here on the Sports Drive.
Football season never ends on Talk Football with Coach K.
Stidham is tearing it up at New England. He may well be the incumbent to Tom Brady there.
Former head coach of the Buffalo Bills, Coach K brings his expertise as he breaks down the game, the players, the coaches, and the front office. Plus, high-profile interviews from the biggest names in football. Talk Football with Coach K every weekday from noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
I'm Bridget Brooks, president of Impact 100 Pensacola Bay Area, a women's philanthropic organization. Since 2004, Impact 100 has awarded 109 transformative grants totaling over $11.5 million, with 100% benefiting our community. Ladies, if you are interested in joining our community-focused group, please join us at one of our upcoming Meet and Mingle membership events. For details on upcoming events, visit impact100pensacola.org.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns, and that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We Are Broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
Gordon Auto Wholesale says yes. No credit, bad credit, bankruptcies, no problem. Over 250 vehicles in stock. Third row SUVs and trucks. Everyone's approved. Gordon Auto Wholesale is the bank and can help you get into a nice, clean vehicle. Carfax checked. Need a new car? Gordon Auto says yes. Can't buy one from the other dealers? Come see Gordon Auto Wholesale on Palafox, just 2 blocks south of Airport. Or call 479-9200. That's 479-9200.
Calling all Gator fans. Time to get down and dirty in the swamp.
Tony to the end zone, caught, touchdown! Here comes Reverso, and the Gators win! Jordan Matthews is a postseason hero!
ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1 brings you Go Gators every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Go Gators on ESPN Pensacola 1330 FM 99.1. Brought to you by the Holman Law Firm.
Does pain have you sidelined on the bench? Clearway Pain Solutions wants you back in the game. Our team of compassionate, board-certified pain specialists, chiropractors, and physical therapists will relieve your pain and restore your function. For comprehensive, patient-centered care, visit a Clearway doctor at one of our convenient locations near you. Call Clearway Pain Solutions today at 855-527-PAIN or visit our website at clearwaypain.com. That's 855-527-PAIN or clearwaypain.com.
The Paul Feinbaum Show. Everything you wanted to happen hasn't happened.
Oh my gosh, that's all any of y'all want to talk about is Alabama.
You're really not understanding the conversation, but anyway, we can move on.
Alabama's dynasty has just begun.
Hold on a second, Charles. Somebody wants to talk to you.
I don't want to talk that compelling moron. He's nothing but a lame-headed old man.
2 till 5 every weekday afternoon. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
You're out of your freaking mind, cowturd.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM.
And welcome back. It is Talk Football with Coach K right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Also, for the folks that are still on top of it and saying that Bob Stoops is the guy, just going by the facts now, because we all were part of the Stoop at the beginning. But he was talked to. But right now, currently, on Sportsline, with the odds for the next Florida State coach, as of this morning, before the announcement was made, Matt Campbell had the best odds. Mike Norvell, second best odds. Odell Higgins, Mark Stoops, James Franklin, Brian Kelly, and then Jack Del Rio, which I think that rumor was started by us here. I really do. Like that name was never popped up on any boards until we talked about it on air. So, hey, look, they're listening out there. Thank you to the folks in Vegas for hearing that, even though I don't believe that's going to happen. If it is, we know exactly the sources, and those obviously they know more than we do. But so basically, now that Matt Campbell's off the table, because he just signed until 2025 this morning with Iowa State, next in line is Mike Norvell, which is the name that we're hearing, and they're waiting until Conference Championship week to make that decision. They're going to wait. They're not going to make that announcement, right? He's not going to be announced on like Thursday. If the days go by, the hours go by, and Florida State doesn't have their next coach, then Mike Norvell is the coach.
So they're not really waiting to make their decision. They made their decision. They're just waiting to announce it.
That's right. I mean,
that's the only thing that makes sense at this point.
It makes
this whole
no
thing
sense.
has not made sense.
I would be angered. I would be angered and we have a lot of Florida State fans, obviously, out there listening. Big Moose and folks that are paying attention to this all the time. Sandy downstairs and Terrence A. Gross doing the show with us tomorrow on Tomahawk Talk. If you're a Florida State fan, I'd be pretty ticked off at this point if it is a James Franklin, if it was a Bob Stoops, if it was somebody else, because they're sitting on the couch right now.
Yeah.
Like, why are you waiting 2 or 3 days at this point to wait? You're going to wait after the bowl game when they play a Bozo the Clown and up in Detroit? Nobody cares about that. If the only person to make sense on at this point is if you're waiting would be the deal getting done with Mike Norvell or the possibility of Luke Fickell or somebody else that's in a conference title game, and it really is narrowed down to nobody. The only Matt Rule and these other names, but that's got to be it. I mean,
you just made a lot of Michigan State fans upset.
Sorry, well, it didn't.
Bozo
Is it official
the
they're playing them? Is
well,
it official now?
That's what all
no,
these.
No, I wouldn't say that Michigan State.
No, that's too late.
It's
You've
too
already
late.
hurt their feelings.
Well, first up, Bozo was very respected. His own show with
no,
cookies.
we're not going down
I'm
that
just
road.
saying. Made a lot of money for WGN over those years. So
how about those power rankings?
How about those? Let's get to the NFL power rankings here. And just for that, I'll make sure to play more of the USC fight song for Jeff here today.
Yes.
So let's get to that in honor of Clay Helton apparently still alive for the job. That's over here.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All right, let's get to the NFL power rankings and go down the list. As Jeff, I'll let you kick things off here in our top 10.
I wonder why you let me kick this one off. Number 1, Baltimore Ravens. All right, moving on. All right, how about this? This won't make you feel any better. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. I'm telling you, people they've lost faith in your. But this is where you want to be if you're the Patriots, right? Go ahead, fly under the radar. That's fine.
And nobody flies under the. They don't fly under.
Well, no, I mean, but they kind of are now. People are like, yeah, their old news are done. All right, Brady's done.
Rex Ryan clapping,
Don't even say that name. Don't even.
Next time Rex Ryan's on TV, dub it into English because your TV has been taken over by aliens, and when he talks, it's actually saying like, Rex, what do you think of this week in the NFL?
You know what he reminds me of?
Really,
a pizza owner in New York. You just walk in, the guy's yelling in the back. He's like,
he's lost all his profits. He ate all his income, but.
So yeah, but 1 and 2, I could see that. I mean, I see 1, 2, and 3. You can mix them up wherever you want. That's fine.
You clearly have not. You've clearly.
Well, I see Baltimore definitely number 1.
You're right.
I see that.
I would put Baltimore. I see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, Baltimore, right now.
Okay, number 2,
Saints.
Ooh.
No. Ooh. I mean, they're.
No, I mean, it's just they're listed at number 4 on ESPN.com.
Rex Ryan works for ESPN. I'm just saying. So you've now added. So do we. So I mean, but in a smaller way down here.
Number 5 is the Seattle Seahawks.
How do we get to number?
Huh?
Thought we were on 3.
The Patriots were 3.
I'm not putting them there.
Yeah, you still have them at number 1.
No, I've got Baltimore, New Orleans. I'll just let you read your top 5. Go ahead.
Okay, this is on ESPN.
Okay.
So 3 is the Patriots. 4 is the New Orleans Saints. Can we please turn this? This is. Oh, I hate USC. This is every morning. This is what Clay Helton wakes up to. Like, yeah, I got him another
day. If I'm going to suffer through the NFL power rankings, you're going to suffer through that, right?
All right. 4 is the New Orleans Saints. 5 is the Seattle Seahawks, which they won last night and dropped 4 spots. That's cool.
I'd take Seattle over New England right now, but good. Continue.
Wow. All right.
But they
I'm proud of you.
My grandmother is going to try out at wide receiver next week for the Patriots. So, I mean, at this point, Antonio Brown, how is Antonio? Like, I would be like, look, if I'm Bill Belichick at this point, be like, and all Pats fans would be like, look, all your nonsense aside, be like, it's too late now.
Well, you know,
it's too late now.
We talked to Coach Shinnick. If we can get those guys out there in New England, they would help Brady out big time.
The Gronk talk, all this is done. They've passed the day. It was November 31st was the deadline, so they're not coming back.
Number 6, the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think? Good. All right. Mahomes is getting healthy. He's starting to be his old self.
I mean, they can be 1 or they can be 15. That's
absolutely.
They can win.
The defense
any game.
looked a lot better the other day.
They're the type of team in the postseason you don't want to play. Like if a team like Pittsburgh gets in, or if a team, one of these teams that's sitting on the edge, Indianapolis finds a way, Tennessee finds a way. Like you'd much rather play that than Patrick Mahomes. You don't want to play Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. So yeah, I would agree.
Number 7, this I kind of disagree with this a little bit. The Minnesota Vikings are over the Packers.
Yeah, I would still go Green Bay.
Yeah,
I think Minnesota's a better roster, but they're not. Kirk Cousins, I think he's a good quarterback, solid, but he's never won the big game ever. No. And 0-9 is his record. He broke a record last night on Monday Night Football, and he battled. I mean, he makes plays, but the point is, you can look good for a while, but when you have a moment, all of that other stuff, whether he had 6 picks in the game, whether he was on a Phillip Rivers high, or he was sitting out there and every single perfect pass was so crisp and he was 25 for 25. At that moment, with down by as many touchdowns as 3 touchdowns. He had a final drive when it was 34-30 to make plays and lead his team. And they went 4 and out at the end, and they couldn't get it. So, I mean, it happens so much with the Kirk Cousins team. And after a while, you just lose faith in that. And I'm not saying, I know Coach K, this is his show. I know he's a big fan of Kirk. He likes Kirk Cousins a lot. And I think Kirk Cousins is a solid quarterback. But sometimes when you're put in all those situations and you have that, and everybody was even saying, Booger McFarland, and they were saying, they're like, okay, here's your chance, Kirk. Like, this is national TV. You're in one of the most hostile environments. The 12th man, it's rocking. It's cold. Like, a lot of these guys have the flu. You win this game. It was a huge game for Seattle to take over home field advantage over San Francisco and win that division. They might get a bye now. Right now, Seattle has jumped into a bye where San Fran's fallen into playing on the road now at Dallas. So all of that was huge for Seattle. And Minnesota had control in that final drive to end it, to make it. And they failed. They failed.
They need Thielen.
They need Thielen.
Diggs is really good, but with Diggs without Thielen, it's not the same because those are 2 dynamic receivers on the outside, and it's so tough to cover both of those guys.
And then you can find Rudolph over the middle too. Yeah,
well, and then a guy like Laquan Treadwell comes into play.
Yeah, that's been such a disappointment.
But when you have 1 and 2,
it's been a
there's always that
disappointment,
guy. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was going to be so much
DK
better.
Metcalf across is making freak plays.
Yeah.
Treadwell is he's not.
But number 9, Houston Texans, and number 10, Buffalo Bills. I mean,
you got to put Buffalo on there. I mean, hey, look, they continue to – their defense is good enough to play with almost anybody. It's just Josh Allen is going to – he's going to be gunslinging. He's wild, wild west. Sometimes you want that guy. Sometimes you don't. He's the guy – he's Jimmer Fredette. They're Jimmer Fredette. They're pretty much – Jimmer Fredette's going to shoot it from 30 feet in basketball.
That's perfect.
It is perfect. It's like Jimmer Fredette's going to either light it up where he's the highlight reel, because Josh Allen has had 3 weeks where he's had the best fantasy football numbers with rushing touchdowns too, and he's had 3 weeks of atrocious fantasy football numbers because he's either going to get you like 4 touchdowns, 2 running, all these yards, or he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks and lose the game for you. So he's just not consistent, but he can. The defense is good enough to keep you in every game.
Is it safe to say the Bengals are the worst team? If you look at it,
not with Andy Dalton last week. He's actually Andy Dalton. I think the time has passed him. I'm not ready to like, all right,
No.
but he's actually a legit quarterback that got paid millions upon millions of dollars to play his position. There's some quarterbacks that have never got that paycheck that are just bad.
and he's redheaded. That makes it worse for him.
Coming back for more. It's sports. It's Talk Football with Coach K right here on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Tom Brady's.
Does pain have you sidelined on the bench? Clearway Pain Solutions wants you back in the game. Our team of compassionate, board-certified pain specialists, chiropractors, and physical therapists will relieve your pain and restore your function. For comprehensive, patient-centered care, visit a Clearway doctor at one of our convenient locations near you. Call Clearway Pain Solutions today at 855-527-PAIN or visit our website at clearwaypain.com. That's 855-527-PAIN or clearwaypain.com.
Well, you want to see a Broadway show, but New York City just isn't in the cards.
Broadway's coming to you. Get your tickets now for the 2019-2020 Broadway season at the Sanger Theater. See amazing Broadway touring shows like Jersey Boys, Cats, The Color Purple, Beautiful, An American in Paris, and Waitress for a third of the cost you would pay on Broadway. See actual Broadway shows right here in downtown Pensacola. Get all the details at PensacolaSanger.com.
I'm really hungry, but I don't want to spend a fortune.
Well, you're in luck. Now you can get Denny's Super Slam with 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, hash browns, and 2 pancakes, all for just $5.99.
That is a great deal. So I get all of that for just $5.99?
You sure do.
Wow, this meal just keeps getting better and better.
Some might say super.
I see what you did there.
The $5.99 Super Slam is back. See you at Denny's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. No substitutions.
Need help funding your holidays this year? Central Credit Union is offering a loan for $2,000 at 2% annual percentage for 24 months. Apply online at ccufl.org. If you are traveling out of town for the holidays and need access to your account at Central Credit Union, you can visit one of the over 5,000 shared service centers across the nation. Visit ccufl.org and click Shared Services to find out more. That's ccufl.org. Central Credit Union is where you belong.
The wait is finally over.
Grizzly Axes is now open on Davis Highway across from O'Charlie's. Grizzly Axes is an unforgettable, exhilarating team-building experience. Whether it be corporate events, bachelor or bachelorette parties, heck, even hanging out with friends after work enjoying some cold beer and throwing axes, Grizzly Axes is Pensacola's go-to location for stress-releasing fun. Reserve your zone now at grizzlyaxe.com. Be a grown axe man at Grizzly Axes on Davis Highway.
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Welcome back. Sports Drive with you here, 627 on this Friday evening. Chad Brillante, Jeff Price with you here, getting set to go for the week of football games ahead. And Jeff got a number of big games here. I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to watching these college football games here this week, but also in the NFL. We haven't, since it is college football championship Saturday, a lot of the NFL games haven't been talked about as much this week, but yesterday, Chicago Bears, the Bears, they go out there, they get the win, 31-24. And Dallas is sitting in a situation now where they talked about the possibility of Urban Meyer being their next head football coach. You know, I think it's a match that makes sense. It's one that, to me, it'd be a win-win in this situation. Look, Herb has had some situations. Really, all of the stories with Herb have been stories of some of his recruits, some of his players when he was at Florida, his assistant coaches. In the NFL, a lot of that noise isn't your problem. How many times has a coach ever been in the news in the NFL for his players or for the assistant coaches? Pretty much never. I mean, it's your job. You're pros. You do your own thing. Nobody's going to Mike Tomlin on Antonio Brown. Think about it. Nobody's like going about Mike Tomlin, Antonio Brown, or John Gruden. It's like get rid of them. They're done. It's not how it works in the NFL. So Urban Meyer can focus on being a coach and get away from that. Where in college, everything that a team does is scrutinized and gets back to the top. So I think it's a good move because obviously he's a good coach. But going to Dallas, Jerry wants to win. He knows how to win big games. Regardless of what you think of ethics or any of that, I think Urban Meyer to Dallas would be about as good as it gets for them.
Well, it'd be the bright spot the Cowboys fans are looking for. And we saw that game last night. They just the players look hapless out there. I mean, they just don't. They're looking for answers as well. They're looking for that spark. They just can't find it. And for the Bears, I mean, if you're a Bears fan, you were happy. Trubisky looked good. Even David Montgomery looked like he was getting a little bit of a rhythm, but. There's a lot of drama in Dallas right now, and through it all, you can still make the playoffs. So, hey, we do have some big games in the NFL, though. I mean, there's three that intrigue me a lot, and one being the Ravens and the Bills. And I know people are like, "You're kidding me, right?" The Bills. Well, the Bills have looked good. I mean, they're 9-3. They played good defense. Josh Allen's, looking like he might know what he's doing out there now. I mean, he's like you said, he's one of those guys that Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes you're like, what are you doing? And the next you're like, wow, that's awesome. Running and look, the running quarterback, we're seeing it more. He's grown up a lot since last year. And even from the beginning of the year. And there you go. I mean, the Bills are 9-3. The Ravens, can anybody stop them now? I mean, they're the hottest team out there, and the thing is, it's in Buffalo. The Bills are tough to beat in Buffalo. The Bills Mafia out there. That's an interesting game to me. I think the Ravens will win it, but Baltimore's a 6-point favorite, and I think this one. I think that the Ravens will win by a touchdown. But what do you think on that one?
I think the Ravens haven't shown anything that they're dropping off. There's some teams on the road that they play differently. Baltimore is just a juggernaut. The way they're playing right now, offensively, it's not about the home or road. It's about trying to figure out how to solve it. I'm not sure if there's an answer right now, and it doesn't mean that's long term. And frankly, the way Lamar Jackson plays, no one would be shocked. You don't want to see it, but no one would be shocked if he gets injured running the football. I mean, like I said, not wishing it upon him, but I'm just saying it's a risk every time you're running downfield on those big plays in the NFL. However, right now, every time they play, San Francisco's a very good defense, and they put their heart and soul into that game, and they still lost. And I think New Orleans takes care of San Francisco this week just because they put so much effort in that game. That was such just a hard-fought battle, and the Saints at home are going to be ready. The Saints get up for the big game. A lot of times they'll lose sometimes to some of those smaller teams.
Like Tampa.
Yeah, like the way they lost to Atlanta at home. But they don't. When they get up for the big game at home, it's usually a victory, or the refs take it from like the Rams last year. So in this game, I think New Orleans wins this week. But to your point with Baltimore, Buffalo beating Dallas, let's not take anything away, because if it was Chicago beating Dallas like they did last night, the week before Buffalo did that, would we all be saying, "Oh man, look at Buffalo"? Dallas is just not that good of a football team. So Buffalo winning on Thanksgiving was a good win, but if you look at Buffalo, outside of that game that people started deeming them a ton of credit for the win against Dallas, really truly look into the numbers. And they're a playoff team at 9-3, but they beat, here it is, the Jets, the Giants, the Bengals, the Titans, that's their signature win, the Dolphins, the Redskins, the Dolphins, the Broncos, and then the Cowboys. So there's not been one game. They haven't beaten a Kansas City or New England or a Baltimore-type team or San Fran or New Orleans or Green Bay or Minnesota or Houston or any of these. And none of the teams on there that are playoff teams. They've beaten the bottom tier of the NFL. And if you played Cincinnati, Baltimore, if you played Cincinnati, Washington, Miami, and the Jets on rotation all year,
don't tell Carolina fans that, and don't tell Eagle fans
I know.
that.
I'm just saying, if you did that for the most part, you probably would have the record of the Bills too. So Baltimore, to me, is a legit contender, if not the team to beat right now, where Buffalo is just if you play a tougher schedule, they're probably a 6-6 squad.
Well, I think they're playing a lot better. And they've beaten who they were supposed to beat, but there again, they've beaten who they were supposed to beat. And look, I'm not going to go to bat for the Bills. I still don't know. I think they're one of the teams that we still question. And if they took down the Ravens and here it's a whole new ballgame, I don't see it happening. I don't see it being that close at all, really. And that's credit more to the Ravens because they're just unbelievable. But
it could be a Buffalo game.
It's a good story. And listen to that New England game. It's 16-10, and New England had that game the whole time. The Bills had opportunities, and they just could never get anything going, and that's credit to the Patriots defense. So, another game that the 49ers and Saints. One thing in football is defense typically travels pretty well, but I agree to your point. The Saints get up for the big games. They're at home. That place is going to be rocking. 2 10-2 teams. The 49ers coming off just a heartbreaking loss because they played their heart and soul out against the Ravens. And they did everything they really could. I mean, it's credit to both teams. Those were awesome teams and, possible Super Bowl there. But that game lived up to all the hype we were hoping it was going to be. And you're interested to see how this 49ers team takes that. And for the Saints, though, I feel like the Saints are going to win by a field goal. And the spread's 2.5. I feel like it's going to be a late field goal. But I do believe the Saints will win. But it wouldn't shock me as much as the 49ers did. But I think with Michael Thomas, you still have Michael Thomas for the Saints. He's unstoppable. I mean, he's got 110 receptions this year. The crazy part about it, those 110 receptions, he only has 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But they don't need him to score. They find other ways, and that's where, guys like Jared Cook have become a big part of their passing game lately. And Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, he gets like the NBA Six-Man Award. He definitely deserves it this year. He's done a really great job in that backup role. Mm-hmm. So who do you believe the Saints are going to win that one, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, the next game, the Dolphins and the no, I'm just kidding. The Chiefs and Patriots, and this one intrigues me for the sole fact of everybody has counted the Patriots out now, and yet they're 10-2. And I know I'm singing your praises over there. You're like, yeah, you're preaching to the choir. But this Chiefs team is getting healthy. The defense is still skeptical. It's one way or the other. Like, we never know what we're going to get out of them.
Yeah.
But Mahomes, it's hard to count that team out. And we said it with the power rankings. They could be 1 or they could be 15.
Yeah,
that's just the way we feel about that team. But they're on the road in Foxborough. It's always so tough to beat them there. Maybe if this game was in Kansas City, I'd change my opinion a little bit. But I feel like for Brady and the Patriots, I know they still don't have receivers out there. But for all that talk, all that bulletin board material that Tom Brady has, which he gets stuff from 20 years ago. Like, that's just the way he is. I feel like the defense is going to shine. Mahomes is going to throw a few picks here. And the Patriots are going to let people know, like, we're still the Patriots. Like, don't count us out. So I'm sure maybe you feel the same way, or how do you feel the game's going to play out?
I usually do in New England, but this time it's this in the first time in a long time it feels
different.
It's
a deep exhale by you.
Yeah, well, I might pass out in the seat. It has nothing to do with you. I'm trying. Sorry. Thank you for taking command, by the way, of talking. I can tell. I appreciate that right now. But if you're the Patriots, it's the first time in a while though that I don't have that sense of like we're just going to pull it off. There's a lot of times where you have games and you have situations where, they have a bad week, but they're going to go back to their ways. I can't assume that. I would only be assuming that based on that Brady would feel comfortable throwing the ball to somebody. And outside of that, teams have a really easy blueprint that if you double team Julian Edelman right now and you take away the short screens from James White, or at least you contain him, he can have receptions, but you only allow him to go 7-8 yards at the most, then nobody else is stepping up. Literally nobody else. Lacassie, Gunnar Olszewski, Jacoby Myers. These are all undrafted.
Awesome names,
these are all undrafted free agents out there. These are guys that Philip Dorsett. People are saying like, "Hey, you got Philip." The Indianapolis Colts said, "Take him." I mean, this is not a good. They have nobody to throw to, and for that matter, it is. I can't just overnight think that is going to out. I think I want to say they find a way to win because Kansas City's defense is good enough where they can control the running game. But, I mean, if they're going pound for pound with Patrick Mahomes throwing the football to great receivers and Tom Brady has to key in and have Julian Edelman have 19 catches for 500 yards, I mean, that's the only shot they have of winning. So, I don't know. I'm not as confident as I used to be. There's nothing at home against big teams. The Patriots always find a way to win. I'm not ready to. I'm just going to sit back and watch these games.
Well, not to make it any worse. Of course, Brady was taken off the Patriots injury report today. Already ruled out for this game is defensive tackle Byron Cowart and then Ted Karras. Center, of course, questionable. This will be a couple big losses here. Now we assume nothing's assuming they're going to be out. They're just questionable right now. Marcus Cannon still with an illness. Patrick Chung has a issue with his heel right now. Julian Edelman's shoulder has been a big bother to him this week, and it's been that way for a while. Then he's the workhorse, but Jason McCourty has a bad groin right now, and then Mohamed Sanu with an ankle. We assume Edelman is going to play. I mean, he is a dog out there. It doesn't matter if his shoulder's messed up or not. He's going to be out there. Patrick Chung looks like he's going to be just fine, as he always is. Mohamed Sanu, though, I think that's going to be the guy you've got to have play, and he's had a bum ankle lately. And Jason McCourty, those defensively, when you're going up against, you look like Sammy Watkins and those guys, and Mahomes, who can do incredible things with the football. I think more importantly, your defense has got to set the tone, and Chung and McCourty, they've held it down back there all year long, and I don't know. I mean, this is the 10-2 team that they're still 10-2, but if they lose this week, now you're talking about if Buffalo won, and this is a big if with the Ravens going on and doing their thing. If they were to beat the Ravens, both teams would be 10-3. Buffalo would be 10-3, tied with the Patriots. It's crazy to think about that, but.
Well, if you're looking for a huge variety of collectibles, from the most common Hot Wheels to rarest sports collectibles, NASCAR, college football, pro, Major League Baseball, and more, well, they've got it for you at Coins, Sports Cards, and Racing Collectibles. Great place right there in Gulf Breeze. They brought us this Barry Sanders signed football. We had the NFL Hall of Fame helmet, and now we got the Barry Sanders signed football in here. This is sweet, and I'm telling you, you could even bring in if you want to get things taken a look at, some coin and currency, bullion, they'll appraise it for you. Check it out right there. You might have some of that lost artifacts. You were a pirate back in your other life, and you got all these gold coins sitting around the house. They'll take care of them for you right there. Just take them in. They're open Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m., and great place. And we're proud to have them as sponsors here at Coins, Sports Cards, and Racing Collectibles. We're coming back for more. It's the Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola.
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl 100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck, Bentley. That was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
ADX Communications now has a job opportunity for a qualified commercial production employee for Cat Country 98.7, News Radio 92.3 AM 1620, and WICT Christmas Radio 94.5. If you're creative, love working in a fast-paced, dynamic environment, and have audio production experience, we want to hear from you. Be a part of a locally owned and operated award-winning team. Send your info now to hr@adxc.com. That's hr@adxc.com. ADX Communications is an equal opportunity employer.
Are your aching feet stopping you from where you want to go? The average person puts a ton of stress on their feet and ankles. At Pensacola Podiatry, Dr. Frank Castagna and Dr. Matt Etheridge are both board certified and understand the importance of foot and ankle health. From the most common foot issue to the most complex, Pensacola Podiatry is always one step ahead with 3 convenient locations and most insurance accepted. For more information, visit them online at pensacolapodiatry.com.
Hey sports fans, we know that we all fumble now and then when we're headed for the end zone, and our vehicles are no exception. Next time your bad ride is a little off sides, take it to Amco Transmission, your total car care facility. And with no interest financing, even with less than perfect credit, you'll drive away feeling as if you caught the winning touchdown. You always make the right play when you take your vehicle to Amco Transmission on Davis Highway, just south of Airport Boulevard. Visit them on Facebook or call 800-GO-AMCO. AA-MCO.
There's a lot going on right now, and broadcasters are on the ground covering all of it, bringing you the weather, the traffic, and breaking news, all while entertaining you 24 hours a day. Someone needs to tell you what's going on around the world and in our hometowns. And that someone is us. We are free radio. We are always there. We are broadcasters. Visit wearebroadcasters.com or text radio to 52886 to learn more. Furnished by NAB and this station.
Talk football every day with Pensacola's own Coach K.
Credit a great performance by Garoppolo. And I love the way he throws the football. He's got all the things going for him.
Every weekday, noon till 1 on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 FM 99.1.
This is Jeff Price with ESPN Pensacola. On behalf of all of us here at ESPN Pensacola, we want to wish the Escambia Gators football team good luck in your state championship game against Miami Central. Go Gators!
You're listening to Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM.
else that's big in sports. Brett, what's happening in Orlando? How's it going?
Well, I'm actually doing a little bit of drinking myself here in a couple of
Wait
minutes.
a second.
It's Repeal Day, December 5th, 1933, the end of Prohibition. One of my favorite under-the-radar holidays to celebrate. But I'm popping a bottle of Booker's in my own house, so I will not be driving and getting pulled over today.
When did anything outside of me just being I made no reference to me drinking, and you just assumed based on the words coming out.
I didn't say you were drinking. I'm just saying, unlike the Cowboys defensive player,
Ah.
I will also be drinking, but I will not be getting in a car. I will be popping some very nice whiskey and some very nice scotch, and I will be drinking it with a nice ribeye steak that I just picked up from the market. So it's going to be a good night.
Ed Werder, I'm looking at Ed Werder on TV right now. He looks like, Jeff, look behind you. He looks like the guy that has had enough. He used to work like a really good job and has had enough, and in one of those movies it just goes off on the whole town.
He's gotten paler.
He's got this beard. Like, he's just sitting there. He looks like the kind of guy that shows up with the briefcase and he's like, I'm taking it out on the whole city. Like, yeah, that's not a good look going for Ed. But look, it's tonight's game, Cowboys and Bears, Brett. 2 games. And now that you've popped bottles, you're enjoying like a country music song, swerving like George Jones.
No, I haven't popped them yet. I've been waiting for this phone call.
The ceremonious phone call.
Gotta stay sober for this, high class show of yours.
Well, usually the show has we actually usually have a level within this show.
No, we don't. We don't ever have a level.
I know. But
he knows better than that.
But now, actually, those words that I premeditate those words that obviously people said, did he say that? Like Lady Cox versus Husky women basketball games, but that's actually what sports give you. I actually might say something right now to my brain that I'm not even sure what's happening. So, Brett, let's talk a little bit about this game. It sounds like since you are about to dabble, you're probably going to be sitting there and I'm sure taking some of these games. Cowboys and Bears. Okay. So here's the deal. We were talking to my brother last night, and we were going to give him props. I told him I was going to give him props, but I'm going to shut it off there. There was too many jokes made. Jeff, talking about the game. So the Bears end up winning the football game. But he made the call right, so I'm not going to allow him to give that grace right there. Tonight, though, we got the Ducks and Utah Utes in a few minutes from now. And, we've had enough time to break this down. We're going to be covering it here on ESPN Pensacola. Final score.
Oh, jeez. You give me yours first.
No.
No.
Not happening. No.
I think somebody died downstairs.
Something's happening down here. But, it's I think Bigfoot's in the building right now. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Oregon. I'm going to go with Oregon wins 24-21 over Utah.
You see,
I'm honestly more worried about Bigfoot being in the building.
Yeah,
right now. I'm not 100% sure what's happening.
Not sure what's going on down there. There's a lot of movement, a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people in here. Oh, there we go. There's Jeremy showing us his Ohio State hat, by the way.
Now we're just pointing out people in the building at this point. It's just
No, but by the way, I tricked you into doing your prediction first when you said nah. Anyway, on a more important matter, no, I like Utah. I hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. That'd be sweet to ruin people's dreams, as they always seem to ruin mine. I like Utah, and I've explained why 1.5 million times. I don't have to say it anymore. I just think that the score will be Utah 28, Oregon 17. We're just not going to be able to get it going. I've not been impressed with Herbert the last few weeks, and more so last week. He struggled a little bit, and the defense played really well last week against Oregon State, as they should. I mean, they held them all game, and they came away with the takeaway there late in the game to save us, or we would have lost to Oregon State, and I don't know if I could be able to wear my Oregon gear until next year when we hopefully would beat them. But no, I'm gonna go Utah 28, Oregon 17. Lord be with me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope my Ducks take control. I'm rooting for them as hard as I can root for them this game because I would like to go to the Rose Bowl. Be fun to possibly play like a Wisconsin. Be a fun game, but I think it's hard when Whittingham is a really good coach at Utah, and they've done. Although you don't believe it, they've been consistent this year, and the defense is where I believe that they're going to take over. And we've had a good defense ourselves, But Utah gives up like 10 points a game. And they have good takeaways. I keep trying to think, like, how can Oregon win this game? And I just believe that at receiver, we're still too young. For Utah, this is their Super Bowl. Like, they don't have this opportunity every year. We haven't talked about Utah ever, except when they went and played Alabama. And we saw how that turned out. It's just going to be hard. I just don't see it happening.
To his press conference yesterday, talking about being if he's a top 10 pick, that he's going to go pro. If not, he's going to sit out or he's going to come back.
If it's 15 or after.
It's 15 or more. Sort of, one of these kind of things. A lot of people, as Alabama fans, pretty important. He didn't give an answer, which he shouldn't right now. He doesn't have to. But this was Tua from yesterday's press conference.
Just say hi to him, welcome him, and we'll get going.
Just like the Sabre press conference.
Kinda.
All right, well, guys, the team's looking very good up to this point. I've been seeing them, doing their running, their conditioning. We have some guys injured. If you want to talk about injuries, we have some guys injured. I think the most important guys we need to talk about is, the O-line. We got Landon Dickerson. I think he's a little shaken up, after the last game that we've had.
All right, well, so that's very low audio right there. We were trying to get him queued up there, and a little bit too low. But he went on to say, yada, 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 he's a nice guy. He's really awesome. And then if he goes 10 or below, he's going to enter the NFL draft. It would be hard to pass on. And then anything 15 or above, would be probably coming back to college. That's first up. I don't know if that's not really. I think he's going to be top 10. I think he's
going to be top 3.
I
think if the Dolphins are at 3 or whatever, I still think the Dolphins like him. And they've said they liked him a lot. The Dolphins were the ones that started the Tank for Tua campaign, whether they want to admit it or not. Obviously, they did. They shipped every good piece out. I think the Dolphins take him. And I think he'd be a good fit. I guarantee you Devontae Parker would be happy. Devontae Parker, he's having to catch passes from Fitzpatrick. And
he's a good player. He's going to make somebody on fantasy football happy. And Ryan Fitzpatrick realized if he throws him the football, he
could just throw it up. That's what he seems to do, is just throw it up to Devontae Parker and does the rest.
LSU, 74 touchdowns this year. Georgia, 12 touchdowns allowed. It's a pretty good matchup.
Something's got to give.
Something's got to give in this one. We also want to say, on behalf of everybody today dealing with the tragedy at Pensacola NAS, got a few minutes left, but our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody out there. It's been a tough day, and I know it's one that sports takes a back page as it should on a day like this, but it's this happened right here in our own backyard, and like I said, we're thinking of everybody at NAS and after the tragic day.
Yeah, and I said it earlier in the day on our other shows as well. It's one of those reminders, and we hate to. We believe it never will happen to us as we see it on the news, and it's happened other places. And if it happens one time, it's too many. But I think it's a big-time reminder that we are a close-knit community here in Pensacola. We love our military, just like we love our Blue Angels. We know what they mean to us. But it's a reminder to those people you love, let them know you love them. Hug them. Families, that goes without saying. You should always tell your family you love them and what they mean to you regardless, because it can be taken away that fast. And for some people, it was reality today. There are people that are not coming back, and it's unfortunate. And like we said, we send our thoughts and prayers to all those people that were affected. But not only that, but to this Pensacola community. Like you said, it's right in our own backyard. It made national news immediately, as it should. This is something that we need to stop, and no matter gun violence or whatever you want to say, the mental health part comes into question on this. And that's one thing that I will say that Florida is trying to work to get money, the funding for the mental health aspect of it, and that may have been what it was. We don't know. It's pure speculation at this point, and I'm not going to get into that. But there again, just remind those around you that you love them, you care about them. You don't have to tell them you love them. I get it. Some people are like, oh, that's too touchy. Well, then just remind them that, you mean something to them. Mm-hmm. I've got guys that I've worked with in the past, and we're on, we group chat and everything, and we always tell each other, hey, man, you care about you. If you need anything, let me know. Mm-hmm. And I know that those people would be there in a heartbeat for me, just like I would be there for them. And but it's just a reminder, everybody be safe and love everybody else. I know we always say ELE, everybody love everybody, but there's too much of this stuff that we see in the media now where people are trying to find what's wrong with the person next to you. You're trying to find out what their belief is that you disagree with so you can harp on that. Instead, find out what you have in common and let that be the bond.
It's well said. I mean, it's no, I fully understand what you're saying, and I think it's one of those kind of things where people understand that it's there's not a right answer, but it sucks. Everything about it sucks, and it's one that I hope we can figure out, and hopefully just pray, because there are going to be crazies out there. There's going to be things that happen, and just hope and pray that doesn't happen to you. That's all I can say. Looking at the situation right now with what's going on in college football. So who, after Saturday, when we come back on air Monday, is going to be the college football playoff?
I think it's going to be LSU 1. I think Ohio State will be 2. And that you could flip-flop either one of those teams. I think Clemson will be 3. And I think Oklahoma is gonna slip their way into that 4 spot. And it makes sense for a lot of reasons. I think Oklahoma will handle Baylor. I hope Utah loses to Oregon, but I think that they will win. But I don't think it will be that pretty of a game. Mm-hmm. And I think that, like we said, it comes down to what makes more sense as a marketing aspect as well.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma will sell a lot more. They will get a lot more views than Utah. Now, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. It's reality. Yeah. You can say what you want, but Oklahoma still has to go out there and win, which I think they will. But I think that's going to be your top 4, and I think the team to really look out for. And people can laugh and they can say what they want. It's Clemson. That is a team that I think we're all interested to see how good they are. But I also think that number 1 spot, like we said, is very key, because whoever gets to play that number 4 seed, that's a tremendous drop-off.
Yeah.
When you talk about competition level this year.
Well, it should be a lot of fun this week. We've got the sports call coming up here, which you can catch at 10 o'clock tomorrow, 10 o'clock to 11:30, and then the pregame with Will Kennedy, and then you will get the kickoff at noon. So looking forward to that.
Also, your Ice Flyers tonight play at 7:35.
That's right.
Against the Huntsville Havoc.
Yeah.
And it's Teddy Bear Toss Night. Bring a teddy bear.
That's right.
Toss it on the ring. And then tomorrow is Peanuts Night. They're going to be wearing Peanuts-themed jerseys. So I'm a grown man that likes the Peanuts Gallery. So there we go.
Have a great rest of your week, Jeff.
You'll be seeing me. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. I might not wake up from the couch. We'll see. I don't know. Guys, have a great rest of your week, and God bless.
Football is here. Catch all of the UWF Argos games and the big NFL games every Saturday and Sunday on Pensacola's home for hometown sports. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. If you would like to be a part of ESPN Pensacola as a sponsor or promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000 or visit our website at ESPNpensacola.com.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
The following is a special featured presentation on ESPN Pensacola. Enjoy the game.
Right motivation when you think you can't go any further.
Don't back down now.
The joy of giving it all you've got. Until tomorrow, because our kind of joy will keep you coming back for more.
Peloton, way to work. Great job, everybody.
This holiday, give the gift of Peloton at onepeloton.com.
You're listening to college football on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Inside 13 minutes to go till kickoff in the Pac-12 championship game. Kevin Winter with you here on ESPN Radio. Coming up, we'll go back to Santa Clara, get the thoughts on what is at stake for the Utes tonight as they try